Faster inserts. This is the problem that came in. This was quite an interesting one. We provide data to an external third-party provider and they load it into their database. They won't accept data pump, etc. They only accept DML scripts. And this is not uncommon. Sometimes providers take data for multiple different database platforms, whether it's SQL Server, Oracle, etc. So they don't want proprietary file formats from each of these vendors. They just want to be able to run SQL scripts. They obviously take forever to run. How do I speed them up? One of the super cool things with SQL Developer and SQL CL is you can use this special hint. Just you put it in a comment of insert, and when you query a table, you get it back as inserts. That's really awesome. But of course, by definition, if you're inserting with a values clause, it is row by row at a time. And my predecessor Tom Kite used to have that cliche, row by row equals slow by slow. So what are the fixes? Here's, when I'm ever doing this and I see something taking way too long because it is just a stream of insert commands. The quick fix number one is every single one of those inserts, because it is full of literals you can see there in the values clause, is individually parsed. That adds a CPU and elapsed time overhead. The first fix I do when I'm doing any kind of inserts like this, the quick fix is just do cursor sharing equals false at the start and reset it back to exact at the end. That turns every single one of those inserts into a shared SQL because they're now all replaced with bind values. That's like a simple, quick and dirty fix you can do to your script, throw it at the start and the end, and generally things run a huge amount better. So that's quick fix number one. Quick fix number two requires a demo. So here's my table called source data. It's a copy of DBA objects. It's about 80,000 rows. If I was doing this in SQL CL or SQL Developer or any other tool where I said unload it to inserts, obviously I pre-populated this, it would give me 82,000 insert statements, each with all the literals. As I said, I can put cursor sharing on there to make an improvement, but I still have to process 82,000 insert statements. What if I could process less insert statements for the same number of rows? Well, I can. Back in Oracle 9, we introduced a thing called multi-table insert. And what that lets you do is, depending on certain conditions, load the same source data into multiple different tables. That was the target. But I can utilize this for the same purpose. I can say insert all, but the target is the same for all of them. Nominate the literal values. Normally you would nominate things that came from the incoming select, but I'm just doing select from dual. So now a single insert statement in this can actually load 5 rows with one trip to the database. That gives me a multiplying effect. I only need 1/5 the number of insert statements now. Now the problem is, how do I write such a set of insert statements? Because none of the tools provide it. Well, I thought I'd write one. So this is a little procedure here that just does some DBMS SQL and tries to manufacture those insert statements for you. I've called the function asInsert. So all I have to do is call my asInsert function and then pass in a query that I want. I've said I want them to come out in batches of 5, and it actually throws in the cursor sharing force for us and says, yep, there's the first 5 rows, there's the second 5 rows, and so forth. So let's give it a performance test. As I said, I've already spooled out 82,000 inserts for that source data into a table. I'm going to load that into target 1, and then I'm going to load target 2 with the same thing, but I'm using the multi-table insert to try and make it faster. So here's the conventional population script. It started at 9:04:12 p.m. my time, and we'll see how long it takes to load 82,000 individual insert statements. It's chugging away. 9:04:12 to 9:05:2, what's that? 50 seconds it took. And then I ran the multi-table insert, 5:02 to 5:05. 50 seconds down to 3 seconds. There we go, multi-table insert for the win. I'll put that function out on my blog, so anyone needing to generate inserts in multi-table style, I quite like this one.